listening or watching Radio Afinju. The time is 6 p.m.
Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Lórí WhatsApp. Àfínjú. Instagram. Àfínjú. Facebook. Àfínjú. Lórí X. Àfínjú. Lórí YouTube. Àfínjú. Lórí TikTok. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú.
This is the world news on Radio Afinju.
First, a look at the highlights. Wike calls for 2027 presidency zoning to the south. Ten dead in Austria school shooting, including suspects. Trump orders Marines to LA in additional deployment as unrest comes. Good evening and welcome to the World News on Radio Afinju. My name is Tolulope Awoyale. The news in detail. Some members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), led by Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Nyesom Wike, have thrown their weight behind Samuel Anyanwu as the substantive national secretary of the party. This was as they urged the party to zone its presidential ticket to the south ahead of 2027 elections. The PDP stakeholders, including three former governors, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu, Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State, Samuel Otom of Benue State, made the demand after a meeting held in Abuja last night. In the meantime, former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has downplayed the possibility of defecting from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressives Congress (APC). Fayose said the PDP has become a carcass due to the party's recurring leadership crisis. Fayose, who made this remark while speaking with newsmen last night after visiting President Tinubu in his Lagos home, added that he has no intention of leaving the party.
Ayo Fayose will not move from PDP to any political party, not even APC. I am this year 65 years. Ayo Fayose will not move from PDP to any political party, not even APC. I am this year 65 years. 65 years. Ayo Fayose will not move from PDP to any political party, not even APC. I am this year 65 years. It's within the choices of those who have chosen to move. Some said they saw what the president is doing. Some said they believe that the party is in trouble. And without doubt, the PDP is in trouble. And that's the gospel truth. And I believe that if they don't quickly take steps, the party in itself will become carcass. I want to tell you that if nothing drastic is done about the PDP, the party will become carcass.
PDP crisis has lasted since the build-up to the 2023 presidential election. The crisis erupted over the party's inability to get its zoning formula right. Also, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its governorship candidate in the 2024 Ondo State election, Awoyale Ajayi, have rejected the verdict of the Ondo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, vowing to challenge the decision at the Court of Appeal. The three-member tribunal, chaired by Justice Benson Ogubu, had dismissed all petitions filed against the victory of Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa in the November 16, 2024 governorship election. The tribunal declared the petition filed by the Action Alliance, Allied People's Movement, Social Democratic Party, African Democratic Congress, and the PDP as worthless and unmeritorious. In a statement issued in Akure, Ajayi expressed dissatisfaction with the tribunal's ruling delivered on June 4, 2025, and claimed the judgment contained glaring inconsistencies and handling of critical evidence and exhibits presented during the proceedings. Ajayi emphasized that although the ruling favored the All Progressives Congress (APC), the PDP remained resolute in its commitment to justice and the rule of law. He also expressed concerns that APC representatives arrive at the court on the day of the judgment in a celebratory mood, suggesting possible foreknowledge of the verdict, a development he described as troubling but not discouraging. In a separate development, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Jesu Tega Onokpasa, a prominent political commentator, has passed. PRO APC advocate Okezie Atani announced his passing via his X page today, mentioning the political figure by his wife and children. Onokpasa, who served as a member of the APC's Presidential Campaign Council during the 2023 general election, passed away under circumstances yet to be disclosed. He contributed to the party's publicity committee, gaining recognition for his political analysis and unwavering support for President Tinubu on television. One of the governorship aspirants under the All Progressives Congress (APC) in Osun State, Rashid Adegoke K-Rad, has hinted that the support of the Ataoja of Oshogbo, Oba Jimoh Olanipekun Oyetunji, ahead of the party primaries for the forthcoming gubernatorial election in the state. K-Rad made this known while featuring on Radio Afinju's current affairs program, Gbagede Oro, where he noted that as a true son of the land, he already has the backing of the monarch irrespective of the king's relationship with the incumbent administration. While speaking on his relationship with the compatriot, Ajibola Bashiru, who is also vying for the same gubernatorial position, K-Rad maintained that despite aiming for the same seat, their relationship is still cordial, adding that his show of interest is not to antagonize Bashiru. The Osogbo-born politician further stated the role he played towards situating the Air Force Base at Okebale area of the state capital instead of the proposed site. Speaking ahead of the primaries, K-Rad stressed that if voted in, he believes he has better administrative prowess than the present governor of the state. In Osun State, Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has commiserated with the Orogun of Okela, Oba Adedokun Abolari, over the passing of his wife, Olori Sholakbe Abolari. In a statement from his spokesperson, Olawale Rashid, Governor Adeleke, who expressed profound sorrow on the demise of the Olori, described the deceased as a virtuous woman and a pillar of support to Kabiyesi in the challenging task of administering the affairs of his subjects. The governor conveyed his heartfelt condolences to Oba Abolari and the people of Okela and the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, where she worked before her sudden death, urging everyone touched by her loss to take solace in the fact that she lived a life full of impact, while praying for the repose of the soul of Olori Sholakbe Abolari. Governor Adeleke enjoined Oba Abolari children, family, colleagues, and the people of Awoyale to be comforted by the memory of the wonderful moments she shared with the deceased and the fact that she lived a life full of impact. Elsewhere, Taipei's prosecutors have indicted 4 people suspected for spying for China in a case that reached Taiwan's presidential office, seeking jail terms for more than 18 years. Democratically governed Taiwan says it has faced heightened military and political pressure over the past 5 years from Beijing, which views the island as sovereign Chinese territory, a position Taipei's government rejects. In a statement, Taipei's prosecutor said the 4, all previously members of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, have been indicted on espionage and other charges. Sources said one of them was a former assistant to the Foreign Minister Joseph Wu, now head of National Security Council, while another was a former presidential office advisor. The Taipei's prosecutor said in a statement that their suspected crimes included divulging or delivering classified national security information to China and adding the jail sentences of 18 years or more being sought. India has started to push people it considered illegal immigrants into neighboring Bangladesh, but human rights activists say authorities are arbitrarily throwing people out of the country. A top official says since May, the northern Indian state of Assam has pushed back 303 people into Bangladesh out of 30,000 declared as foreigners by various tribunals over the years. Such people in Assam are typically long-term residents with families and land in the state, which is home to tens of thousands of families tracing their roots to Muslim-majority Bangladesh. Assam, which has a 160-mile border with Bangladesh, started sending people back last month who had been declared as foreigners by its foreigners tribunals. Such a move is politically popular in Assam, where Bengali language speakers with possible roots in Bangladesh compete for jobs and resources with local Assamese speakers. In Europe, 10 people are found dead following a shooting at a secondary school in the Austrian city of Graz. Police say students, at least one adult, the suspected gunmen were among the dead, with several others seriously injured. The shooting happened at the high school in Austria's second largest city. Austrian Chancellor Christian Stocker calls the shooting a national tragedy and says there are no words for the pain and grief the country is feeling. Russia has launched one of its largest strikes on Kyiv, injuring 4 people and causing widespread damage across 7 of the capital's 10 districts. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia launched 315 drones overnight across the country. Officials said further south in the port city of Odessa, 2 people were killed after drone attacks hit residential buildings and medical facilities, including a maternity ward. Zelensky later said 13 people had also been injured there. Zelensky said on social media the overnight attack was one of the largest strikes on Kyiv. Witnesses said they heard loud explosion across the city, and pictures show the night sky lit orange and heavy smoke rising from buildings. Elsewhere in the country, the president said the Dnipro region and the Chernihiv region were also targeted. In the Americas, United States President Donald Trump is deploying more National Guard troops and Marines to Los Angeles as protests in the city continue. California Governor Gavin Newsom says he will take legal action against the deployment and calling Trump deranged and dictatorial. Demonstration in the city continued into a fourth day on Monday, with new rallies starting up across the United States against immigration authorities. Rubber bullets, stun grenades, and other non-lethal weapons have been used against the protesters. United States Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a vaccine skeptic, has removed all 17 members of a committee that issues official government recommendation on immunizations. Announcing the move in an editorial in the Wall Street Journal, Kennedy said that conflicts of interest on the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices were responsible for undermining trust in vaccinations. Kennedy said he wanted to ensure the American people receive the safest vaccines possible. Doctors and health experts have criticized Kennedy's long-standing questioning of the safety and efficacy of a number of vaccines, although a Senate confirmation hearing is said is not going to take them away. Kennedy noted that if he did not remove the committee members, President Trump would not have been able to appoint a majority on the panel until 2028. In the Middle East, Israel says it has deported Swedish campaigner Greta Thunberg a day after Gaza bound 8 boats and she and 11 other people were on and intercepted by Israeli forces in the Mediterranean. The Israeli Foreign Ministry said Thunberg departed Tel Aviv earlier in the day on a flight to France after she agreed to be deported. France said 5 of the 6 French citizens detained alongside her had refused to sign their deportation orders and would now be subject to judicial proceedings. The Freedom Flotilla Coalition, the activist group operating the yacht, the Madeleine, has demanded the immediate release of everyone detained. The Israeli Foreign Ministry dismissed it as a selfie yacht and announced in a post on X last night that the passengers had been transferred to Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport following the vessel's arrival on the port of Ashdod. Still in the Middle East, France said it had obtained new commitment from the Palestinian Authority to reform ahead of the conference next week, at which Paris could become the most prominent Western power to back recognition of an independent Palestinian state. Macron's office disclosed that the letter to the French president, who is working on organizing an international conference with Saudi Arabia to discuss recognition of Palestine, contains unprecedented pledges without elaborating. The elite said President Emmanuel Macron has received a letter from Mahmoud Abbas in which the Palestinian president condemns the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack against Israel and calls on all hostages to be released and pledges further reforms. Abbas, 89 years old, has headed to the internationally recognized Palestinian Authority since the death of the veteran leader Yasser Arafat in 2004. The PA exercises limited self-rule in parts of Israel's occupied West Bank, but lost control of Gaza to its rivals Hamas since 2007. It has previously condemned Hamas for the attack that provokes the Gaza war and has called for the militant group to be disarmed in a future settlement. Talking sports, Greenland's application for membership of CONCACAF has been unanimously rejected. The world's largest island, which has never played competitive international football, has a population of 57,000 and is a sovereign territory of Denmark, but is geographically north part of North America. It is unable to join UEFA because the European governing body only admits countries recognized by the United Nations, but there is no such requirement for CONCACAF, which governs North and Central America and the Caribbean. Greenland plays non-FIFA sanctioned friendlies, but hopes of competitive international football for the first time were being dashed at a meeting in Miami before the Gold Cup. President Donald Trump has made repeated calls for the United States to take control of the territory, which has caused outrage in both Denmark and Greenland. Before we go, here again are the highlights. Some members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), led by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Nyesom Wike, have thrown their weight behind Awoyale as the substantive National Secretary of the party. Elsewhere, Taipei's prosecutors have indicted 4 people suspected of spying for China in a case that reached Taiwan's presidential office seeking jail terms of more than 18 years. In the Americas, United States President Donald Trump is deploying more National Guard troops and Marines to Los Angeles as protests in the country continue. That was the world news on Radio Afinju. To view our channel, please follow Radio Afinju on Facebook, X, and YouTube. The news was edited by Stella Adiroti. My name is Tolulope Awoyale. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
That's what